Um, and I ended up getting sentenced. I got sentenced to 6 years, and I made parole at after about a year and a half. I ended up getting paroled out, and of course, I went right back to the same thing that I'd been doing. I went right back to drugs. I went right back to that kind of lifestyle, and it did not take 3 4 months, and I was, you know, right back in trouble, violated parole. And in this time, I ended up meeting my now as my wife, and she got pregnant during this time. And so the day I was arrested was the day I found out she was pregnant. And so, at the time, I was just, it sounds crazy, but I was glad that they arrested me. Um, because I knew I was just going to end up killing myself or hurting somebody, because that was the progression of how things went in that lifestyle.
Yeah, and
And
you were
so,
armed. This is armed robbery.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
armed
mean,
robbery.
yeah,
I definitely had a violent streak in me. And I'm not trying to glorify this, but I was charged with
sure.
several, assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature. I mean, I say that to give God the glory. I was a bad guy, you know, in the way I behaved and the way I treated people. But my wife got pregnant. I went to jail that same day. They arrested me, and I ended up doing about 2.5 years. When I got out, um, me and my wife got married. As soon as I got out, I got out November the 15th, 2004,
Okay.
and I got married November the 18th, 2004.
Hmm.
Because here was the idea, Ken. It's like, okay, you have a child, and it's Southern. Even as crazy as it sounds, people did try to instill in me some kind of right and wrong. And so, if
Right.
you had a kid, you marry that woman,
The responsibility.
right, and you
Yeah.
take care of that kid. And I was still just as wild as a buck when I got out of prison. But I got married, and I tried to get a job and go to work,
Hmm.
and raise a family.
Okay.
And I would stay sober for a week, 2 weeks, and then I would just revert back, and I'd end up going and being gone for a week or a weekend, and just really, I mean, putting my wife and putting my kids. We ended up having two other kids. And,
Hmm.
I mean, for several years, I just put everybody through the ringer. And I,
Right.
I was I was really torn inside. Like, I wanted to be a dad, and I wanted to be a good husband, but I just didn't know how. I was so used to the drinking and the drug and lifestyle that I thought that's all I'd ever be.